Ladies and gentlemen, beloved souls on this journey of truth and power, let us pause for a moment and feel the beauty of this moment. You are not here by accident, you are guided by a divine hand, brought to these words because the universe has something to awaken within you. The law of attraction is not a distant mystery, it is the very air you breathe. It is around you, through you, and within you. And today, I speak to you of one of its greatest secrets, the spoken word, for truly, your word is your wand. From the beginning of time, it has been written that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. This is no poetic line only. It is a revelation. It shows us that the universe itself was spoken into existence. Light was called forth by the command, "Let there be light," and light appeared. The seas were called into being, the stars were summoned, and the worlds were shaped, all by the power of the spoken word. If God Himself used words to shape the cosmos, how much more powerful are the words we speak over our own lives? Every word you utter is a seed, and seeds never fail to produce after their kind. Speak words of lack, and lack must appear. Speak words of fear, and fear takes form. Speak words of doubt, and your life reflects that doubt back to you. But when you speak words of faith, words of abundance, words of victory, those words go forth clothed with power, drawing to you the exact reflection of your declaration. Most people speak carelessly, unaware that each word is a decree. They say, "I'm always broke," and the law of attraction answers, "So it is." They say, "I can never get ahead," and the law replies, "As you have spoken, it is done." They curse their own destiny with idle phrases, never realizing the tongue is the rudder that steers the ship of their life. Beloved, do not let your words be wasted, for every word is a creative force. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Your word is your wand, and this wand is always in your hand." When you declare with conviction, you set unseen forces in motion. The universe, the divine intelligence, begins to rearrange circumstances, open doors, and bring to you the people, opportunities, and resources you require. Your word is law unto your own life. Therefore, speak as one who knows that heaven is listening, that God's law is responding, that the unseen is waiting to obey your command. When you say, "I am prosperous, I am wealthy, I am successful," you may not see the evidence in the moment, but your words have gone out to gather that prosperity and return it to you. When you declare, "I am healthy, whole, and strong," even if your body feels weak, your words call forth healing vibrations, aligning you with the truth of wholeness. Speak it until the world must mirror your conviction. The secret lies not only in the words, but in the faith that backs them. The spoken word without belief is like a lamp without oil, but when belief is poured into your words, they ignite with divine fire. That is why affirmations must be more than recited. They must be declared with feeling, with expectancy, with absolute knowing. When you say, "I am guided, I am provided for, I am divinely protected," you must say it as one who already sees it happening, as one who knows it cannot fail. You may wonder, what of the words I spoke in ignorance yesterday, or the curses I uttered in anger? Beloved, the law of substitution is your gift. At any moment, you can replace false words with true ones. Cancel the decree of lack by affirming abundance. Cancel the words of fear by declaring faith. Speak out loud, "I erase that false word. I declare instead that all is well, my supply is endless, and my good rushes to me now." The spoken word overrides the spoken word, for light always dissolves darkness. Imagine for a moment your life as a garden. Your words are the seeds, and your subconscious is the fertile soil. The soil does not judge what you plant. It accepts every seed without question. If you plant weeds of fear and doubt, weeds grow. If you plant flowers of faith and abundance, flowers bloom. The soil always gives back what you plant. So today, choose your seeds carefully. Plant only what you desire to harvest. Speak only that which you wish to see. It is wise, then, to make your spoken word a daily practice. Each morning, rise and declare, "Today, divine order governs my life. All doors fly open before me. Every step I take is guided, and all that is mine by divine right flows to me with ease." Speak it when you feel strong, and speak it when you feel weak. Speak it when all seems lost, for that is when your word carries the greatest power. The law of attraction does not listen to your wishes, it listens to your word. Wishes drift away like smoke, but the spoken word is a command. Wishes are uncertain, but words spoken with faith are decrees written in spirit. Therefore, stop wishing and start declaring. Stop hoping and start commanding. Do not say, "I hope this happens." Say instead, "This is already mine by divine law, and it comes to me now." Beloved, if you would change your life, change your words. Guard your tongue as you would guard a treasure chest, for every careless phrase is a seed you may not wish to harvest. Instead, let your mouth overflow with truth, with love, with faith, with gratitude. Let every word you speak be a step toward the life you desire, for the law of attraction is faithful. It will always bring you what you speak. Beloved friends, let us continue our journey into the heart of manifestation, and let us touch the second great secret of the law of attraction: visualization with feeling. For truly, the images you hold within, clothed in emotion, are the blueprints from which the universe builds the structures of your life. You are not limited by appearances, for appearances are but shadows. You are limited only by the pictures you dare to see and the emotions you dare to feel as real. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine your desire. Do not imagine it as something far away, as a dream that might one day come to pass, but imagine it as here now, complete. See yourself already walking in the fulfillment of it. If it is wealth, see yourself living in abundance. Feel the comfort, feel the freedom, feel the joy of it. If it is health, see yourself whole, radiant, filled with vitality. Feel the strength moving through your body, feel the joy of wellness. If it is love, see yourself surrounded by kindness, adored, cherished. Feel the warmth of that love flowing through every part of you. The law of attraction does not respond to empty images nor to cold thoughts. It responds to the vibration of feeling. Thought creates the mold, but feeling fills it with life. Without feeling, a visualization is like a picture painted on thin air, but with feeling, it becomes alive, magnetic, irresistible. When you feel the joy of already having what you desire, you set the law in motion in a way no mere thought can accomplish. Many people make the mistake of visualizing as if they are wishing. They look at their dream as something apart from them, always out of reach, always in the future. But beloved, the future never comes. There is only now. To manifest, you must bring the future into the present, you must live in the end. When you visualize, you are not wishing, you are rehearsing the reality that is already yours in the invisible. You are aligning your mind and heart with the truth that your desire exists now and must appear. Florence Scovel Shinn often spoke of the power of acting as if. When you act as if, you are training your mind to accept the unseen as real. Visualization with feeling is the inner act of living as if. You are not asking, you are receiving. You are not begging, you are claiming. You are not hoping, you are knowing. The universe recognizes this vibration of certainty and rushes to make your inner world visible. Think of the actor upon the stage. He becomes the role not by thinking about it, but by feeling it deeply, by stepping into the emotions of the character until it seems real to all who watch. In the same way, you must become the actor of your desire. Feel yourself already there, already transformed, already victorious. The more you embody the feeling of it, the more swiftly it must appear in the play of your life. Now let us speak of faith. Faith is the substance that binds visualization and feeling together. Without faith, visualization is daydreaming. But when faith ignites your vision and emotion fills it, you have created a magnetic force that no obstacle can resist. Say to yourself, "This picture I hold within me is not a fantasy. It is reality waiting to show itself." Hold that picture with calm assurance, and let gratitude overflow as if you have already received it. Gratitude is the golden thread in this practice. When you visualize with thanksgiving, you multiply the power of your image. You are saying to the universe, "Thank you for this gift already given," and that act of gratitude proves your faith. You cannot be grateful for something you do not believe is yours. So gratitude seals your vision with the energy of certainty. If doubt creeps in, and it will, do not be disturbed. Simply return to your vision and feel it again. Each time you bring your heart into the picture, you water the seed. Each feeling of joy, each moment of certainty, is like sunshine to the growing tree of your manifestation. Do not be impatient with the process, for divine timing is perfect. Trust that what you see and feel within must find its way into form without. Remember, you are not creating from nothing. You are aligning with what already exists in the invisible. Your desire has already been prepared. The house is already built in the spirit. The supply is already gathered. The healing is already complete. Visualization with feeling is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. When you walk across that bridge with faith and joy, you will find your desire waiting for you. Therefore, beloved, when you rise in the morning, take time to see your day as you wish it to unfold. Visualize yourself moving with ease, attracting blessings, receiving good news, walking in abundance. Feel the joy of it before it arrives, and it will arrive to match your vibration. At night, before you sleep, see yourself already in possession of your greater desires, and let the feeling of gratitude cradle you as you rest. The subconscious mind, fed with these images, will work through the night to draw your vision into form. Do not let appearances shake you. What you see in the outer world is only the shadow of what you once believed. If you wish to change the shadow, change the image in your heart. Visualize with love, with joy, with thanksgiving, and the shadows must rearrange themselves to reflect your new inner picture. Beloved souls, visualization with feeling is the artist's brush in the hand of spirit. You are the painter of your life, and the colors you use are your emotions. Paint boldly, paint with faith, paint with joy, and soon the masterpiece of your desire will hang upon the walls of your reality. Beloved friends, let us step even deeper into the treasures of manifestation. And today we touch a principle so simple, yet so profound, that it opens every gate of supply, every door of opportunity, and every channel of blessing. That principle is gratitude. Gratitude is the golden key, the magnet that draws miracles into your life with speed and certainty. When you live in thanksgiving, you place yourself in harmony with divine law, and the law of attraction hastens to bring you more and more of that which you have praised and acknowledged. So many souls pray, but their prayers are filled with pleading and fear. They cry out as though God has forgotten them, as though the universe withholds its good. But gratitude prays in a higher way. Gratitude does not plead, it praises. Gratitude does not beg, it rejoices. Gratitude speaks as though the gift has already been given, and because it speaks so, the gift must appear in the visible. When you say, "Thank you for this abundance," "Thank you for this healing," "Thank you for this love," before you see it with your eyes, you have proven your faith, and faith is the only language the universe obeys. Gratitude is faith in action. It is the evidence of things not seen. When you give thanks in advance, you are declaring, "It is done. I believe it. I claim it." And that vibration is irresistible to the law of attraction. It cannot be denied. For the grateful heart is like a magnetic sun, pulling every blessing into its orbit. Think of it this way: two people walk through the same garden. One notices only the weeds, the stones, the shadows. The other sees the flowers, the sunlight, the fragrance in the air. Which one do you think leaves that garden with joy? Which one feels enriched? And more importantly, which one attracts more beauty into their life? The one who gives thanks, for thanksgiving multiplies what you see. When you notice the good and bless it, it expands. When you complain of lack, lack multiplies. The law of attraction always gives you more of what you focus upon with emotion, and gratitude is the emotion of increase. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that when you bless a thing, you multiply it. If you bless the money you have, no matter how little, it increases. If you curse it, it dwindles. If you bless your health grows stronger. If you complain about your body, you invite weakness. Gratitude is the blessing that unlocks multiplication. So never despise the day of small beginnings. Give thanks for the coin in your pocket as if it were a fortune. Give thanks for the roof over your head as if it were a palace. Give thanks for the smallest sign of progress as if it were the greatest breakthrough, and soon it will become so. Gratitude also shifts the mind from fear to faith. Fear says, "What if I never have enough?" Gratitude says, "I already have more than enough, and more is on the way." Fear says, "I am sick and weak." Gratitude says, "I thank God for the healing already flowing through me." Fear creates resistance, but gratitude creates flow. It opens the channel for supply, for love, for health, for every good thing to enter your life naturally, under grace, in perfect ways. Begin your mornings with gratitude. Before your feet touch the ground, say, "Thank you for this day. Thank you for life. Thank you for the unseen blessings that are already on their way to me." At night, close your eyes in thanksgiving, counting your blessings, great and small, and you will find that each morning brings more to count. Gratitude sets the tone of your vibration, and the universe can only reflect back what you send out. You see, beloved, the universe is impartial. It does not send blessings to one and deny another. It simply responds to vibration. When you vibrate gratitude, you harmonize with abundance, for abundance is the natural state of the universe. Look around, see the endless stars, the countless grains of sand, the overflowing rivers, the boundless fields. Scarcity is man-made, but abundance is divine. Gratitude tunes your heart to that divine abundance, and once tuned you cannot help but receive it. Do not wait until everything is perfect to give thanks, for if you wait forever. Begin now in the midst of imperfection, and watch as thanksgiving transforms your conditions. If your purse is light, bless it, and say, "Thank you for this beginning, and thank you for the increase that is coming quickly." If you long for love, bless the love you already feel from friends, from family, from the divine itself, and give thanks in advance for the love that is destined to appear. If your health wavers, bless your body, thank it for carrying you thus far, and speak gratitude for the perfect healing that is already unfolding. Gratitude plants seeds of miracles in every circumstance. Remember also that gratitude must be spoken aloud. Silent thanksgiving is good, but spoken gratitude is powerful, for the spoken word carries vibration into the outer world. Say it often. "Thank you, God, for the abundance flowing into my life. Thank you for perfect health. Thank you for divine protection. Thank you for success, prosperity, and love." Speak it until your heart feels it, and when you feel it, the law of attraction will move swiftly to clothe that gratitude in visible form. Beloved, gratitude is not a ritual, it is a way of life. It is the consciousness of abundance, the knowing that all you could ever need or desire already exists in the invisible, waiting for your recognition. When you live in gratitude, you no longer ask, "When will it come?" You say instead, "Thank you that it is already here." And soon it is. So hold gratitude as your constant companion. Let it be the first word on your lips in the morning and the last whisper at night. Let it be the song you sing throughout your day. And as you live in gratitude, you will find that your world becomes a mirror of thanksgiving, filled with more blessings than you can count, more miracles than you dared to imagine. Your word is your wand. Use it with intention, use it with reverence, use it with joy, and watch as your world reshapes itself to mirror the words you dare to declare. Beloved souls, let us turn now to the great key that unlocks all manifestation, the force that separates the dreamer from the door, the hopeful from the fulfilled, the lost from the victorious. That key is faith. Faith is the fire that lights the path of creation, while fear is the shadow that seeks to extinguish it. To master the law of attraction, one must choose faith over fear, for both are forms of belief. Faith is belief in divine good, fear is belief in evil. And as surely as faith manifests blessings, fear manifests trouble. Every thought you think carries a vibration. Every word you speak sends out a command. When you are in faith, your vibration is lifted, your command is strong, and unseen forces align to bring your goods swiftly. When you dwell in fear, you lower your vibration, you weaken your word, and you attract the very things you dread. The law of attraction is not biased, it simply brings to you the essence of what you feel most strongly. If you fear lack, lack comes. If you fear sickness, sickness takes root. If you fear failure, failure is drawn to you. But if you hold faith in abundance, abundance flows. If you hold faith in health, health is restored. if you hold faith in victory, life cannot deny you success. Florence Scovel Shinn often declared, "Fear is only inverted faith. It is faith in evil instead of faith in good." This truth is the dividing line between bondage and freedom. When fear arises, it is only the voice of illusion, for fear is faith placed in appearances, not in divine reality. Appearances may scream lack, but faith whispers abundance. Appearances may show weakness, but faith declares strength. Appearances may threaten defeat, but faith proclaims victory. And faith, when spoken and felt, always dissolves fear. Think for a moment of a child learning to walk. At first, the child stumbles, falls, wavers. If the child held to fear, he would never rise again. But faith within him says, "I can walk, I was born to walk." And that faith lifts him up until his steps are steady. So too with your manifestations. If you stumble, if appearances look contrary, fear would say, "It is not working." But faith says, "It is done, I cannot fail, for God cannot fail." Hold to faith, and your steps will grow strong until you walk fully in your manifestation. The great secret is this: fear cannot live in the same heart where faith is active. One must yield to the other. So whenever fear speaks, answer quickly with faith. If fear says, "I do not have enough," answer with, "God is my unfailing supply, and abundance is flowing to me now." If fear says, "I am sick and weak," declare, "Divine life now flows through me, and I am whole and strong." If fear says, "I will fail," declare, "I am guided, I am victorious, I am more than a conqueror." In this way, you cancel fear with faith, and the law of attraction obeys the stronger voice. Beloved, fear thrives in silence, but faith thrives in declaration. Speak your faith aloud, for the spoken word clothes your belief in vibration and sends it forth into the world. Fear whispers in the mind, but faith thunders in the spirit. And when you speak faith with conviction, you drown out the voice of fear, and your vibration rises to call forth miracles. Faith also requires trust in divine timing. Fear demands instant proof, saying, "If I do not see it now, it will not come." Faith rests calmly, knowing that what is mine by divine right cannot be delayed and cannot be denied. Faith says, "Though I do not yet see it with my eyes, I know it exists in the unseen, and it is rushing to me now under grace." Fear clings anxiously, but faith releases in peace, and release is the very act that allows your good to come. Consider the seed planted in the soil. Fear digs it up each day, saying, "I must see if it is growing." But faith waters it with thanksgiving, confident that growth is certain though unseen. Soon the plant breaks through the soil, not because of fear's anxiousness, but because of faith's patience. So too with your desires. If you will water them with faith, they must appear. When fear arises, do not condemn yourself, for all humans feel its touch. Simply remember that fear is not truth. It is a shadow, a phantom, a false belief. Replace it swiftly with faith, and the shadow dissolves. Say to yourself often, "I walk in faith, not in fear. I believe in divine good, and therefore only good can come to me." Make this a habit until your heart is trained to choose faith naturally, just as the flower turns naturally toward the sun. Faith is not blind. It sees beyond appearances into the invisible realm of spirit. Fear sees only the storm, but faith sees the calm beyond the storm. Fear sees the obstacle, but faith sees the path opening wide. Fear sees the desert, but faith sees the wellspring already rising. And because faith sees it, faith receives it. So I tell you, beloved, train your mind daily in faith. Meditate on abundance, speak affirmations of victory, surround yourself with words of truth. When fear knocks, let faith answer the door. Fear has no power where faith is present. And the more you live in faith, the more the law of attraction will bring you visible proof of your belief, until your whole life becomes a testimony of divine good. Therefore, stand tall in the knowing that you are not at the mercy of fear. You are a child of infinite intelligence, clothed in divine authority. You choose your belief, and as you choose faith, you choose victory. You choose abundance. You choose love. You choose health. And what you choose in faith must appear, for faith is the very substance from which miracles are made. Beloved friends, let us now open the door to a truth that dissolves anxiety, lifts the burden of struggle, and brings peace to the heart of every seeker. This truth is divine right timing. So many souls cry out, "Why has it not come yet? Why do I wait? Why is my desire delayed?" They see others prosper and feel forgotten. They wonder if the law of attraction is working for them at all. But, beloved, what is yours by divine right cannot be delayed and cannot be denied. It comes to you at the perfect time, in the perfect way, under grace. The human mind is impatient. It wants results instantly, without trust, without surrender. Yet impatience is born of fear, and fear blocks the flow of supply. Faith, however, rests in the knowing that God's timing is flawless. Faith declares, "My good is on its way, and it arrives at the right moment, neither too early nor too late." When you live in this consciousness, you release the heavy burden of hurry, and you open yourself to the ease and order of divine law. Imagine for a moment the ripening of fruit. A child may tug at the branch, demanding the apple before its time. If he eats it too early, it is sour, unready, without sweetness. But when the apple ripens in its season, it is perfect, juicy, fragrant, delicious. So too with your desires. If they come before you are ready, before the conditions are aligned, they may bring struggle or loss. But when they arrive in divine right timing, they bring joy, peace, and increase without sorrow. Florence Scovel Shinn often spoke of the phrase, "in divine right order." To live in divine right order is to trust that everything unfolds as it should. The wrong doors close to guide you to the right ones. The wrong people leave to make room for the right ones. The delays are not denials, but protections. The detours are not mistakes, but redirections. Every step is guided, every moment is perfect, though the outer eye may not yet see it. Beloved, let us remember that the unseen is always working. Just as the seed germinates underground before it breaks through the soil, your manifestations are germinating in the invisible before they appear in the visible. If you look too soon and say, "It is not here," you deny the process. But if you trust and say, "Though I do not yet see it, I know it is growing," you allow the manifestation to unfold in perfect order. Divine right timing is the law of harvest. You reap when the crop is ready, not before, not after. How often have you looked back and realized that what once seemed like delay was in truth protection? The job you did not get, the relationship that ended, the opportunity that slipped away, each one made room for something far greater, something perfectly suited to your destiny. At the time, you felt denied, but later you saw it was grace. This is the nature of divine right timing. It is the gentle hand of Spirit, arranging every detail for your highest good. Therefore, when impatience rises, speak this truth. What is mine by divine right now comes to me in perfect ways, at the perfect time. I do not hurry, I do not worry. I trust divine order. These words will calm your spirit and align your vibration with peace, and peace is the fertile ground in which blessings grow swiftly. Do not let appearances deceive you. The outer world may seem stagnant, but the inner world is always in motion. The law of attraction is at work whether you see it or not. The currents of supply are flowing toward you even now. Trust that unseen hands are preparing the stage, arranging the players, tuning the instruments, so that when the curtain rises, your desire will appear in perfect harmony. Consider also this: the waiting is not wasted. In the waiting, you are being prepared. In the waiting, your faith is being strengthened, your character refined, your vision clarified. If the blessing comes before you are ready, you may not hold it. But when you are aligned, nothing can take it from you. Divine right timing ensures not only that you receive, but that you can sustain and enjoy what you receive. Beloved, the oak tree does not grow in a day. The river does not carve its path in a moment. The sun does not rise at midnight. All of nature operates under divine timing, and so do you. Why should you be anxious when the entire universe moves in perfect order? Align yourself with that order, and you will find rest for your soul. Speak often, "I rest in divine right timing. I release the burden of hurry. I trust that all that is mine comes to me quickly and under grace, and nothing can prevent it." Feel the peace of those words settle into your spirit, for peace is the proof of trust. And when you live in peace, the law of attraction brings your good more swiftly, for nothing obstructs the flow. So let go of the question, when, and hold instead the knowing, now. For in spirit, all is already complete. Your desire exists in the invisible, and time is only the bridge by which it crosses into the visible. Trust the bridge. Walk it with patience and joy. Rejoice even now, for every step is progress, and every moment brings you closer to visible fulfillment. Beloved, divine right timing is never late. It is never early. It is always perfect. Stand in that truth, and you will live in calm expectation, never hurried, never doubting, always knowing that what is yours cannot be lost. It comes at the appointed time, clothed in beauty, carrying with it blessings greater than you imagined. Beloved souls, let us now turn to a principle that is the very foundation of all manifestation, the key that determines whether you attract abundance or lack, joy or sorrow, success or defeat. That principle is the guarding of the mind. For truly, the mind is the gateway through which the law of attraction operates. Every thought entertained, every belief accepted, is a seed planted in the soil of the subconscious, and the harvest must come forth into your life. If you desire a harvest of good, you must guard the seeds you allow to enter. The mind is like a fertile garden. It does not question the nature of the seeds. It simply brings forth whatever is planted with consistency and emotion. If you plant weeds of fear, worry, and lack, weeds will cover the garden of your life. If you plant flowers of faith, love, and abundance, beauty will bloom in every corner of your experience. The law is impartial. It gives back in exact measure what you give it. Therefore, you must guard your mind as you would guard a treasure, for in truth, it is the greatest treasure you possess. Most people let their minds wander unchecked, like an open field where anyone may scatter seeds. They absorb the doubts of others, the fears of society, the negativity of voices around them, never realizing that every thought permitted is shaping their destiny. They say, "I cannot help what I think." But beloved, you can. You are the watchman at the gate of your mind. You may not stop the birds from flying overhead, but you can stop them from building a nest in your hair. In the same way, you cannot stop stray thoughts from knocking at your door, but you can decide which ones you entertain and which ones you reject. Florence Scovel Shinn often declared, "Man's word is his wand, but his thoughts are the substance of that word. To speak powerfully, you must first think powerfully. To declare abundance, you must first believe it possible. To manifest success, you must first guard against every thought of failure. This is the discipline of the spiritual warrior, to stand guard at the gates of the mind and allow nothing false to enter. Beloved, negative thoughts are like thieves. They creep in silently, robbing you of peace, of confidence, of faith. But once you become aware, you can stop them at the gate. When a thought of lack comes, cancel it at once and replace it with abundance. Say quickly, "God is my unfailing supply, and wealth flows to me now." When a thought of sickness arises, do not entertain it. Declare instead, "Divine life now flows through me, healing every cell." When a thought of defeat whispers, answer firmly, "I am victorious," for nothing can stand against divine law. In this way, you reprogram your subconscious, and the law of attraction begins to reflect your truth instead of your fears. Guarding the mind is not repression, it is selection. You are not denying that thoughts exist, you are simply choosing which ones to give power to. A negative thought unspoken and unfeelingly observed has no strength. It passes like a cloud across the sky. But when you dwell on it, when you speak it, when you feel it, you water it into being. So train yourself to let the false pass by and to nourish only what you desire. Consider how the world trains the mind with constant impressions, news of lack, fear of tomorrow, doubts about success. If you do not guard yourself, you will absorb these vibrations unconsciously, and they will begin to manifest. Therefore, protect your mind daily. Limit the intake of negativity. Surround yourself with words of truth, affirmations of power, scriptures of faith, voices of encouragement. Let your mind become a sanctuary where only what uplifts and strengthens may enter. It is also vital to guard your imagination, for imagination is the womb of creation. Whatever picture you hold with feeling, the law of attraction brings forth. If you imagine failure, you prepare the stage for it. If you imagine success, you call it into being. Guard your imagination from idle fears, from dark daydreams, from worries rehearsed over and over. Instead, let your imagination be holy ground, filled only with visions of joy, abundance, and peace. Beloved, this guarding is not a burden, but a liberation. When you choose your thoughts, you choose your destiny. You no longer drift like a ship without a rudder, tossed by the waves of circumstance. You become the captain, steering your course with intention. You live by design, not by default. You walk in mastery, not in confusion. To aid you in this practice, speak often. I am the guardian of my mind. I accept only thoughts of love, abundance, faith, and strength. All else I reject, for it is not the truth of my being. Say it until it becomes second nature, until every cell of your being obeys your command. And as you do, you will find your life reflecting the garden you have planted. Lush, beautiful, overflowing with every good thing. Remember, beloved, the mind is not meant to rule you. You are meant to rule it. The spirit within you is master, and when you stand in that authority, no false thought can control you. The law of attraction must obey the dominant vibration, and when your mind is filled only with truth, your world must manifest truth. Therefore, keep watch over your thoughts as a shepherd guards his flock. Protect them from the wolves of fear, the thieves of doubt, the weeds of lack. Let only what is pure, powerful, and prosperous dwell in you. For as surely as night follows day, your outer world will mirror your inner one. Guard the mind, and you guard your destiny. Guard the mind, and you unlock the gates of abundance. Guard the mind, and you walk as a creator in harmony with divine law. Beloved ones, let us now dwell on a principle that holds tremendous power in the realm of manifestation, the law of substitution. It is a law as real and unchanging as the law of gravity, though unseen. This law simply declares that one thought cannot exist in the mind at the same moment as another. You cannot hold faith and fear simultaneously, nor gratitude and resentment, nor abundance and lack. The stronger thought, the one you dwell upon and give emotion to, will always replace the weaker. This is the divine key to transforming your mental atmosphere, and therefore, your life. How often do people struggle with negative thinking, saying, "I cannot stop worrying. I cannot silence my fear. I cannot erase this thought from my mind." They wrestle with the darkness, not realizing that darkness cannot be fought. It can only be replaced by light. If you enter a dark room, you do not beat at the shadows with your fists. You simply turn on the light, and the darkness disappears at once. So it is with the mind. When a destructive thought enters, you need not argue with it, suppress it, or grow anxious about it. You need only substitute it with a thought of truth, love, or power, and the law of substitution will do the rest. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that you cannot hold two opposing vibrations at once. Fear and faith cannot dwell together. If you allow fear to take root, faith withdraws. But if you lift up faith, fear dissolves. The choice lies always with you. Every time a thought of lack arises, it is an opportunity, a test of mastery. You can let it stay, and it will multiply, or you can replace it instantly with the thought, "God is my endless supply. Abundance flows to me in perfect ways." When anger attempts to take hold, you can breathe and declare, "I am centered in peace. Nothing disturbs the calm of my soul." When doubt whispers its lies, answer with, "All things are possible to the one who believes, and I believe now." The power of this law is that it puts you back in control. You do not need to resist or suppress. You need only redirect. You become the conscious chooser of your inner atmosphere, and as your inner atmosphere shifts, your outer world must follow, for the law of attraction always responds to the vibration you maintain. Think of the mind as a radio. You cannot listen to two stations at once. If a song of fear is playing, you need not struggle against it. You simply tune the dial, and the song of faith comes through instead. The old one vanishes without effort. Likewise, when you substitute truth for error, abundance for lack, confidence for doubt, you shift the station of your vibration. The new frequency goes out into the universe, and the universe echoes it back to you in form. But substitution requires practice. The mind has grooves of habit, and it often runs on old tracks unconsciously. If you have long dwelt in fear, the thoughts of fear may seem automatic. But beloved, you are not bound to them. With every substitution, you carve a new path in the subconscious. The more often you replace lack with abundance, the stronger the abundance track becomes, until one day it becomes the natural groove of your mind. Then the law of attraction works effortlessly, drawing to you the very good you have planted. To master substitution, you must be watchful. Observe your thoughts without condemnation. When a destructive thought comes, say silently, "I replace this with the truth." Then declare your chosen affirmation. If worry about money arises, substitute immediately with, "I am divinely supplied, and unexpected channels of prosperity open to me now." If fear of failure knocks, replace it with, "Every step I take is guided by divine wisdom, and success is inevitable." If resentment rises, substitute with, "I bless all with love and release all in peace. Nothing can rob me of my joy." By doing this consistently, you retrain the subconscious and harness the law in your favor. Beloved, this practice also awakens you to the fact that you are not your thoughts. You are the chooser of thoughts. The thoughts may come like visitors, but you are the master of the house. Some visitors you welcome, others you turn away. This realization liberates you from bondage to the mind. You no longer feel enslaved by negative patterns. You recognize your authority to substitute and transform. Do not underestimate the power of a single substitution. One moment of choosing faith over fear can shift the entire outcome of a situation. One act of replacing complaint with gratitude can open a floodgate of blessings. One decision to speak words of victory instead of defeat can set in motion forces that change your destiny. Each substitution is a seed, and in time, it blossoms into results. The law of substitution is the bridge from weakness to strength, from doubt to faith, from lack to abundance. It is the very tool by which you reclaim dominion over the mind and, through the mind, over your circumstances. Remember always you cannot think two opposing thoughts at once. Therefore, choose the higher. Choose the thought that reflects divine truth, and the lesser thought will dissolve like a shadow before the dawn. So, beloved, train yourself daily in this sacred art. When the lower thought comes, lift up the higher. When fear arises, answer with faith. When lack whispers, sing of abundance. When defeat speaks, declare victory. And as you practice, the law of substitution will engrave new patterns in your being, until your every thought is aligned with truth, and your every experience reflects the glory of that alignment. Beloved souls, let us now step into the golden chamber of imagination, for imagination is the divine blueprint of all manifestation. Before anything can be formed in the outer world, it must first exist in the unseen realm of thought and vision. Every great building was first a picture in the architect's mind. Every symphony was first a melody in the composer's heart. Every invention, every work of art, every triumph of human endeavor was born in imagination before it ever took shape in material form. Truly, imagination is the womb of creation, and those who master it master life itself. Florence Scovel Shinn often declared, "Imagination is the scissors of the mind, ever cutting the pattern of your life." What you continually picture, with feeling, will sooner or later be woven into the fabric of your experience. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between real and imagined, it accepts whatever image you impress upon it. If you imagine sickness, fear, or lack, it will take root and bring forth its likeness. But if you imagine health, joy, and abundance, the subconscious embraces these pictures as truth and draws circumstances to fulfill them. Imagination, therefore, is not idle fantasy. It is the creative power by which you shape your destiny. Think of the universe as a vast workshop. God, the infinite intelligence, is the master builder, and your imagination provides the design. The divine cannot build for you until you decide what you desire. Vague wishes produce vague results, but when you hold a clear picture, when you see yourself healthy, prosperous, radiant with joy, you hand the universe a precise blueprint. Then, by law, conditions, people, and opportunities arrange themselves to match your inner vision. The tragedy of many lives is not lack of opportunity, but lack of imagination. People see only what is, never daring to envision what could be. They rehearse failure instead of success, lack instead of abundance, obstacles instead of open doors. They imprison themselves with pictures of fear, and then wonder why life brings them more of the same. Beloved, it is time to redeem your imagination. It is time to turn it into the sacred instrument of your good. Close your eyes often throughout the day and picture your life as you desire it to be. See yourself already possessing the health, wealth, love, and success you long for. But more than seeing, feel it. Imagination without feeling is like a seed unwatered. The subconscious responds not to idle pictures, but to pictures charged with emotion. If you desire prosperity, imagine yourself joyfully receiving it, paying your bills with ease, blessing others with generosity, living in the freedom of abundance. If you desire health, imagine the strength of your body, the glow of vitality, the freedom of movement, and rejoice in it as though it were already true. The more real it feels in imagination, the faster it crystallizes in form. Consider the child who plays pretend. She puts on a crown and declares herself a queen. She does not worry whether the crown is made of paper. In her imagination, she rules with majesty, and so she feels the joy of her role. That same spirit is what you must reclaim as an adult, to dare to make believe. Not as a game of escape, but as a creative act of faith. What you make yourself believe, you will soon make yourself experience. Do not misuse imagination by rehearsing fears. How often people lie awake at night picturing worst-case scenarios, conversations of conflict, or scenes of loss. Then, when such things occur, they say, "I knew it!" forgetting that they rehearsed it into being. Florence would remind us that the imagination is holy ground. Guard it well. Do not allow idle images of fear to take root. Instead, consecrate your imagination to divine truth. See only the good, the beautiful, the true. And if a wrong picture arises, erase it at once and replace it with the right one. Imagination is also the key to persistence in manifestation. The outer world may not yet show signs of your desire, but imagination allows you to dwell in the unseen reality until it appears. When appearances contradict your vision, go inward and see again the perfect picture. For what you persist in seeing inwardly, you will eventually see outwardly. This is why Florence said, "Never take your eye off the goal." Do not magnify the problem, magnify the picture of your good. Imagination is the great revealer of possibility. Through it, you enter realms beyond your present capacity. You can envision a life of greater freedom, joy, and power than you have ever known. You can picture yourself breaking limitations, rising above past failures, living in divine prosperity. And as you hold these images faithfully, your subconscious and the universe conspire to bring them forth. Beloved, let your imagination be bold. Do not limit it by what seems realistic or possible. Realism belongs to the senses, possibility belongs to the spirit. Spirit has no limits, and imagination is its doorway. When you dare to imagine a higher good, you are not indulging fantasy. You are tapping the infinite storehouse of God's abundance, waiting to pour forth into form. Therefore, I urge you take time each day to dwell in imagination's temple. Picture your ideal life, and see it as though it is already yours. Feel the gratitude, the joy, the peace of it fulfilled, and do not release the picture until it has impressed itself deeply upon your subconscious. Then go about your day in faith, knowing that what you have conceived in imagination is even now being prepared in form. For imagination is the blueprint of manifestation, and when you hold the blueprint steady, the master builder of the universe will surely bring it to pass. Beloved souls, as we gather in the light of divine truth, let us lift our hearts to the power of gratitude. Gratitude is not merely a polite response for blessings already received, it is a mighty spiritual magnet that draws to us greater and greater good. Florence Scovel Shinn reminds us that gratitude is the law of increase, complaint is the law of decrease. What you bless, blesses you. What you praise multiplies. When you give thanks in advance, even before the manifestation is visible, you set into motion the law of attraction in its highest form. So many souls wait until the blessing appears before they give thanks, but the wise know to give thanks beforehand. For in truth, the unseen is more real than the seen, and every answered prayer first exists in the invisible realm. When you affirm with gratitude, "Thank you, Infinite Spirit, for the wealth that is mine, for the health that is mine, for the love that surrounds me," even before these things have appeared in the outer world, you prove your faith. You declare, "I trust that the gift has already been given, and I now rejoice in its arrival." The universe cannot withhold from a thankful heart. Gratitude shifts your vibration immediately. It takes you out of lack and into abundance, out of worry and into peace. The moment you give thanks, you align yourself with the frequency of receiving. You move from asking to allowing. You become a channel through which divine supply flows freely. Even in difficult moments, gratitude opens the door for miracles, for it acknowledges that beneath appearances lies divine perfection. When you give thanks for lessons learned, for challenges overcome, and even for trials that grow your faith, you demonstrate spiritual maturity. The soul that is grateful in all seasons is the soul that cannot fail to prosper. Think of the sun, beloved. It shines upon all without discrimination. Yet those who open their windows receive its warmth and light, while those who close their shutters remain in darkness. Gratitude is the act of opening your windows to divine blessings. Complaints are shutters that block the flow. When you complain, you affirm lack and invite more lack. When you give thanks, you affirm abundance and invite more abundance. It is a law, as certain as gravity. Each morning as you rise, speak words of gratitude. Thank you for this day of life. Thank you for the breath in my lungs. Thank you for the opportunities that await me. Each evening as you rest, say, "Thank you for the lessons of this day, for the blessings seen and unseen, for the progress of my soul." Gratitude spoken daily builds a consciousness of wealth, health, love, and joy. And whatever consciousness you build within must manifest without. Even for desires not yet visible, begin now to give thanks. Thank the universe for the home that is already prepared for you, for the business that is prospering, for the healing that is complete, for the love that surrounds you. When you thank in advance, you live as if it is already yours, and the law of attraction must fulfill that vibration. You declare with your spirit, "I already possess it in the invisible, and therefore it must appear in the visible." Beloved, gratitude also dissolves fear. A grateful heart cannot dwell on what is missing, for it is too busy rejoicing in what is present. It cannot vibrate with worry, for it vibrates with faith. Gratitude lifts the soul out of doubt and places it in harmony with the divine. It is the key that unlocks the storehouse of heaven. So let us practice this law with joy. Let us bless our present, our past, and our future. Let us praise even the small beginnings, for they hold within them the seed of great endings. Let us rejoice in what we have, knowing it multiplies by the law of increase. Let us give thanks in advance, for the vision fulfilled, the prayer answered, the dream manifested. And now, beloved souls, as we close this sacred moment together, I leave you with these words: walk in gratitude, and you will walk in abundance. Speak thanks, and you will live in joy. Praise every blessing, and blessings will chase you down. Gratitude is not an afterthought, it is the very atmosphere of miracles. So I say unto you, with Florence's wisdom echoing through eternity, bless your good, and you will multiply it. Praise your blessings, and they will increase. Go forth with a thankful heart, and watch as the universe opens its treasures unto you.